In this video, I'll be talking about stopping distance. This is the distance it takes to stop in a car. So the car is going to drive along the road, and then it sees a cow in the road. So now the stopping distance begins. Now this is the time it takes to think that he needs to stop because he's seen the cow. This is called the thinking distance. Then the car actually applies the brakes and stops. This is known as the braking distance because you're actually braking. And as you can see, because the driver was being responsible and the weather conditions were good, the cow is still alive, which is good. The thinking distance and the braking distance together is known as the stopping distance. Now we will talk about the factors which affect the thinking distance. Thinking distance can be affected by speed, by taking alcohol or drugs, which can increase the reaction time, using phones or distractions, so it'll take you longer to see what you have to stop for, and tiredness, because that can increase the reaction time as well. So now imagine that the driver is affected by one of these factors. He sees the cow, but instead of the thinking distance taking this time, it takes a lot longer. So now the thinking distance is this amount of time. He has to try and brake now, but he's not going to be able to brake as quickly as before. So, see what happens. He didn't brake in time, and the cow died. He's probably sued. So now we'll talk about the factors which affect the braking distance. This is the distance that it takes to actually brake. The first one is poor quality roads, because if there's potholes or things like that, then you can't get enough friction to stop and things like that. Also speed, which is a common factor in both thinking distance and braking distance, because you have to slow down more, which will take more time. Poor tyres, because there's less grip, so you have less friction to be able to stop the vehicle. Poor brakes, because if the brakes aren't working, then braking will be harder and it just won't work as well. And a heavier vehicle, because if you have a heavier vehicle, then you need more force to stop it. So that will make the distance longer. So imagine that the car is going quite quickly, so it has a lot of speed. This will mean that the thinking distance is longer because you travel further in the time it takes to think, but it also means the braking distance will be longer because you need to slow down more, which will take more time to happen, and you need more force to slow it down. And if you go too fast, you may hit a cow, as you can see, or another pedestrian. So imagine there are poor quality roads. The car may be going all over the place, skidding, sliding. The weather may be bad as well, which might affect the car. And the car could end up sliding off the road if it's raining and hitting cows and fences and such things like that. And if the tyres are bad, there's less grip and you could slide around. So it's very important to keep the car safe. Imagine if there's more mass, you need more force to stop it. That also has to be taken in consideration when braking. So those are the factors which affect the braking distance.